Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Kash Queries with Krutika. In today's episode, we are diving into 4 fantastic financial questions. We've got a 26-year-old who's just starting out trying to balance off student loans with investing for the future. It's a common struggle and we'll talk about some strategies to make it work. Then there's a 34-year-old who's gone all in on mutual funds. They've got so many, it's like a mutual fund buffet. We'll look how to streamline that portfolio for better results. We are also tackling a sensitive family issue about property inheritance. You know how family and money can get complicated, right? We'll navigate that carefully. And finally, we have got an interesting cross-border question about a father and a daughter transferring investments with some tricky tax implications to consider. I love doing this show because money doesn't have to be intimidating. It's just about understanding your options and making informed choices. So let's get into it. Alright, helping me out today is Mithilesh, who will be reading out your questions. Take it away, Mithilesh.
I'm 26, unmarried and earn Rs 60,000 a month. I have just started investing in mutual funds with an SIP of Rs 3,000. I pay EMI of Rs 15,000 on my education loan. I want to save taxes and grow my wealth. I will buy health and life insurance this year. How should I invest?
Okay, so first set aside your financial goals for near term, short term and long term. For instance, one of your goals could be to close your education loan early. To do this, you need to come up with a plan that tells you how much you need to put aside every month towards this goal. Second, try to increase your monthly investments. Ideally, try to save at least 30 to 40% of your salary. That would come to 18 to 24,000 a month. A part of this could be used to close your education loan early. And thirdly, spread your investments across instruments. Park some money in ELSS funds, some in balanced funds, and some in fixed instruments such as National Savings Certificate or PPF or EPF. You may even want to boost your monthly EPF contributions. Create an emergency fund equal to 6 to 12 months salary as a cushion against any financial emergencies. Alright, with this, let's hear out the next question. Mithilesh?
I'm 34. I have monthly SIPs running in the following funds. I am investing Rs 3,000 each in Aditya Birla Tax Relief 96, Axis Long Term Equity, Axis Flexi Cap, Axis Growth Opportunities, Axis Small Cap, DSP Small Cap, PGIM Global Equity Opportunities, Mirai Asset Mid Cap and Tata Digital Fund. I invest Rs 2,000 each in ICICI Prudential US Blue Chip, PPFAS Flexi Cap and SBI Small Cap Fund. Rs 4,000 in L&T Mid Cap, 6,500 in Mirai Asset Emerging Blue Chip, Rs 500 in Nippon India Value Growth Fund, 8,000 in PGIM Mid Cap Opportunities Fund and 1,000 in SBI Focused Equity Fund. I plan to hike my investments by Rs 5,000 every year. Am I on the right track for long-term wealth creation? I want to build a retirement corpus of Rs 10 crores by the time I am 60. I also have savings in my FD and PPF.
Your planned corpus should be achievable if your SIPs and planned addition earn about 11%. Still, when you are saving up, increase your SIP amount to make sure even at a lower rate of interest you achieve your goals. As a portfolio, you have too many funds. Gradually reduce your investments to a smaller, more manageable portfolio. Consider a large cap index fund or a flexi cap or a multi cap fund for about 50% of your equity portfolio. This can be a mix of growth and value. Another 25% can be in mid and small caps, just 2 funds. About 15% can be in international funds, which is a passive one, and a maximum of 10% in sector funds. Do this gradually by first stopping SIP in some of the funds and consolidating them after they cross a year. Great. Let's take our third question.
I am married and away from my hometown where my parents live. I have one brother who runs the family business along with my father. Now my father says that I can't have any share in the commercial property as I am married and was given sufficient dowry at the time of my wedding. My brother also lives in my parents' house with his family. The property is in the name of my father and is self-acquired. My father wants to will it to my brother without leaving any share for me, but has not written a will yet. Am I entitled to a share in residential and commercial properties?
Okay. So if your father leaves a will naming your brother as a beneficiary in the residential property, then you will not have any right over the house. If, however, he dies instead, that is without a will, you being the class 1 legal heir will have the same right over the house as your brother and other legal heirs. As for the commercial property, if your father has not already executed a partnership deed with your brother, signing over his share to him and dies instead, you will have an equal right to that property as well and can stake a claim to it. Superb. Now let's take the last and the final question.
I'm 74. I have my own business. In 2000, I invested in equity shares and mutual funds jointly with my daughter as first holder. She became a US citizen 8 years ago. Can she transfer the shares and mutual funds as a gift to me without any consideration? If so, what would the tax liability be when I sell it later?
As the father is the joint owner of equity shares and mutual fund, consequent to the daughter transferring her rights in share as a gift to her father, there shall not be any tax implications either in the hands of the daughter as well as father as per the income tax laws in India. The fact that the daughter is a US citizen shall not change the aforesaid implications. Further, when the father subsequently sells the equity shares and mutual funds, there shall be a long-term capital gains which shall be taxed in the hands of father. If the equity shares and mutual funds are listed and STT is paid on acquisition and transfer, it shall be taxable at the rate of 10% exceeding 1 lakh rupees. If the equity shares and mutual funds are unlisted, then long-term capital gains arising on its transfer shall be taxable at the rate of 20% without indexation benefit. Wow, we have covered a lot of ground today, from starting out in your 20s to planning for retirement and even some complex family and international situations. I hope you have found something useful in today's episode, whether it's directly related to your situation or just good to know for the future. Remember, personal finance is a journey and we are all learning as we go. If you're sitting there thinking, hey, I've got a good question too, then don't keep it to yourself. Shoot me an email at my email ID. Your question might be exactly what someone else needs to hear too. Until next time, this is Krutika signing off.